How's pre-season gone? Can you believe it's back start of the season now again?
Yeah, it's gone okay. I had pretty good holidays this year, so and I was in the first group back at the start of July. So yeah, it's gone relatively okay. I think the guys here do really good work in the S&C, so they take pretty good care of us and making sure we're in the best possible shape come the start of the season. It's programs are pretty well sort of individualised for different guys. Um, Pre-season friendly is obviously a bit of a mixed bag. Blood a lot of kind of younger guys who've got a bit of experience, but when you throw a lot of younger guys in, can be also lead to some pretty tough days as well. Obviously, we had a pretty tough one against Northampton, losing quite heavily, but guys will hopefully learn plenty from that, and the performance was a little bit better at the weekend against Sale.
And when you're a successful team like Leinster, I mean, when you're constantly trying to improve, like what were the things, did you do anything differently in pre-season this year to kind of make you a better team now for next season?
Just moving to a new facility has probably been the big change. We David Lloyd in Riverview. David Lloyd has taken pretty good care of us over the last number of years, but I think it was time for a change, and obviously moving to the place here in New City is hopefully going to be able to push the team on. Obviously the facility is purpose built, which helps. But yeah, time will tell how much of a difference it'll make.
Leo, obviously with a lot of success, it means the seasons are longer and longer every year. I suppose, does it feel like the summers are getting shorter and shorter for this Leinster team?
Yeah, like obviously later in the season, they're the games you want to be playing, so that's the enjoyment. They're the easy games to play. It's sometimes there's the hard work that goes into getting you there is the real tough part of the year. But I think we're well managed as well. Like I think to be in the best possible shape that end of the season, you have to rely on your squad, and yeah, like thankfully guys are well managed, guys are well rotated, and it's pretty unusual. Guys have played 4 or 5 or 6 weeks in a row, so there's generally a reliance, I think, on the sort of the bigger picture in terms of getting us in the best possible shape later in the season.
Joe was talking about just getting the internationals back in, and it is quite a balance between not throwing them all in at the same time. How do you expect that you'll manage that over the next few weeks?
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for sure. Like I just think, they're going to miss. Obviously, none of them have played in the pre-season friendlies. When it comes to the start of the league, they won't be available for the first couple of weeks. So, but then it's very hard to throw them all at the same time because the difficult thing is like when you play your first game of the season, it hurts. Like it's all the much training you can do. There's nothing quite that'll ever simulate playing a game. And when you're coming up against guys who've already played maybe 3 or 4 or 5 games, it can be quite a challenge, and you're at quite a significant disadvantage. So I think it's important that it's only 3 or 4 guys are reintroduced at a time. But again, we're working with a pretty small time frame as well. So I'm not sure what the plan is for guys how they're going back, but it is certainly a challenge.
The spirit is the most important thing in rugby. It's very hard to beat spirit and very hard to beat that get up and go. How is the feeling in the camp now, especially given the pre-season matches? Is there still? It's hard. You're hung by your own success in lots of ways. How do you keep the chin up? How do you come back?
Yeah, it was disappointing. I think we pretty good. The pre-season's gone mixed. I think good result against Gloucester, great crowd out in Tala, and it was good to see a lot of guys got time and everything went well. Like on the day, Northampton very different. It was 29 degrees. It was tough conditions to play in. I thought the team dug in relatively well for the first 60 minutes. Considering the sort of gap in experience levels between the two teams. But the disappointing thing was the last 15 minutes. We'd like to think regardless of what sort of team we'd have out, that we'd be a bit better than that. And to concede 4 tries like we did in the last 15 was pretty tough. In fairness to a lot of guys, the reaction was good and the performance is a hell of a lot better against Sale at the weekend. So, there's the competition for places, and as you talked about, the sort of pressure to perform. We hopefully will be in good stead going forward.
What's the mood out there now?
Yeah, it's one of enjoyment. It's we're a privileged enough bunch, that we're doing something that, I feel like I'm doing something that I really enjoy, and I did for quite a while. But yeah, I still enjoy the games.
How responsible do you feel during pre-season for the younger players and the new guys that have been brought in, the likes of Tom Denton and Quinn Brewer?
How responsible do I feel for them?
Yeah, for everything about how the pre-season's going and moving forward now into a points game.
Yeah, obviously, we've parked that pre-season. Now we're into sort of competition. There's points up for grabs every week. We've a very tough start, I think, Clantley on the road, and they're probably a couple of weeks ahead of us, I think, in terms of their preparation, in terms of the players that they have available to them. A lot of their Welsh guys are already back and have played games. So, yeah, it's a challenge, but, that's, where we are. Like, we've got to just get on with where we are at the moment, and, whatever team we have out this weekend will go out and doing their best to be prepared as best as they possibly can. And, we're not really a team that looks too far down the track. I think this weekend is the be all and end all for us at the moment, and after we finish this weekend, it'll be moving on to the Dragons the following week.